What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. What a difference a few videos make and a few hours make. I just announced this morning that we reached 96,000 subscribers, which I'm very thankful for. And I'm pleased to announce that we just made 97,000 subscribers in just that short of time, in a matter of hours. And I'm grateful for all you guys that support me, and I wanted to just add that. But lately, we been talking about this plane crash that happened out there in Northwest Philly. You know what I'm saying? And which they say multiple people died and some people were injured that were on the ground when this plane crashed in the middle of the street out there in Philadelphia. And there are going to be stories that you hear, eyewitness accounts and things like that. And, you know, there'll be more to come. You know, the whole area for blocks is basically a whole investigation of a plane crash. And today I'm going to focus on a story I just heard that was like jaw-dropping. I wanted to share it with you. And this one lady's eyewitness account of what she went through. And it's crazy how this woman describes what she saw. Now, I didn't know that a lot of the people in that area were forced to go to shelters and stay because of the risk and, like, you know, assessment going on in that area to avoid danger. A lot of people are being able to be returned home to their houses as we speak, and this lady's one of those people. This woman describes what she saw, and there was a body on her house, on top of her roof of her house. So, I mean, his body, they were talking about his body parts that were strewn around, bodies as well. And this is this lady's account of what happened. Take a look at this, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Crash investigation is just starting, but there are so many other moving pieces to what's happening out there. Emergency workers have set up a shelter at Samuel Fells High School overnight to take care of anyone who may have been forced out of their homes by the crash.
CBS News Philadelphia reporter Dan Snyder went to that shelter. He's live out near the scene of that crash with the story of one woman, Dan, who scrambled to escape the aftermath. Good morning.
Good morning, Howard and Jan. Yeah, as you can see behind me, we are just a few blocks away from that crash site. And what you can really tell from this look, just how densely populated this area is. So many people saw and felt the impact of last night's crash. One of those women, Dolores, we spoke with her just about an hour ago. She did spend the night at that Red Cross shelter at Fells High School. She lives very, very close to where that plane went down. She tells us she was upstairs laying in bed at the time, heard a loud boom, a flash of yellow, and then everything flew off her bed. She described to us those chaotic moments, those seconds after that crash happened. Take a listen.
As I came downstairs and I opened up the door, there was a piece of the airplane and at the steps on fire. So I thought the house was on fire. So I panicked, looking for my dog, and as I was panically looking for her, I fell out of steps trying to get her because she hid from me. And then when I went down to the basement, I opened up the back door. The back of the house was on fire. My neighbor's house in the back was totally engulfed in flames.
Now, fortunately, Dolores and her dog were able to get out of the house safely. As we said, she did spend the night at the Red Cross shelter at Fells High School. When we spoke to her just about an hour ago, she was actually on her way back home to get her first daylight look at her home. She tells us most, if not all, of the windows in her home are blown out. But at this point, she does not think she has any fire damage. So she is going to check everythth out, as many people around here are going to be doing today. Howard and Jan, back to you.
You know, we've been saying all morning long that this is right next to Roosevelt Mall. However, we also need to remember that you're also right in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, so many people want to get back to see what is left. But again, officials are asking people to stay away from that scene at this time as the investigation continues.
Left behind, any street, any alleyway, any pathway you could really find that could lead to that crash site is going to be closed off as police try to cordon off as much as they can as part of this investigation. But obviously, this entire area was full of activity last night as that jet went down. One woman we spoke with says she lives very, very close to that site. She tells us all her windows were blown out during that incident. She told us about scrambling to try and find her dog, figure out what was going on, and get out of the house as quick as she could, and opening up the door to find a piece of the plane on fire in front of her steps.
My neighbor put the fire out that was in front of the door, and I got out the house, and it was just my body on top of the roof, pieces on top, all, like fire of the airplane all on the ground and stuff. It was very, very terrifying. Like I'm very scared right now.
When I got there on the scene, besides the sounds of first responders, it was eerily quiet. No folks were walking, businesses were shuttered, cars were charred. It was a really difficult scene.
State Representative Jared Solomon, who you heard from there, he grew up in the neighborhood, he represents this area, and he echoed what we've heard from many people here, that this was just something that was completely unimaginable to them. A plane going down in their neighborhood, never even considered that possibility. He says this is now a time for the community to come together and lend a hand where you can. We'll send it back to you.
It's certainly not something that you would expect to happen for sitting on your couch or driving down the road there. Dan, thank you very much to you and your photographer, KCQ.
That's the story of this lady's account of what happened, and thank God she was okay, and a lot of other people were okay. And peace and prayers go out to the victims and the victims' families, condolences. This is something you don't see every day. Planes crash all around the world. I don't want to say daily, but I mean, there are times that this type of stuff happens and you don't hear nothing about it. But a plane crashing in a residential neighborhood always makes big news, especially something the way this plane came down. Engine screaming, like, you know what I mean? Like it's taking off. Came down like a missile. Some people thought it was like a missile, but it was a plane. And that's something you don't see every day. I wonder how much counseling a lot of these people that seen the atrocities of like freak accidents go through or have to get. And it was even offered because, you know, it was a Friday night. A lot of people, majority was home. And I can only imagine the fear and panic in some of the videos you've seen. People were scrambling. They don't know what the hell's going on, what's going to fall out the sky next, so on and so forth. That's a very scary feeling when you can't go back in your house for safety because stuff is falling from the sky. Debris, everything's lit up. This woman saying she got a body on her top of a house. There's people on fire burning to death. You can't do nothing to save them. It's rough. But I mean, prayers to everybody out there in Philly that's going through something. You know what I mean? We got to be empathetic about this. I mean, there are people that are making memes and stuff like this. You got to understand, people died in this process, and they were just trying to go to and fro. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to know. Well, I mean, of course, she probably had to tell her she had a body on the roof. I don't think she knew she had a body on the roof on the row home. Somebody had to see it. But I mean, just think about this. At 1 second, everybody was breathing. Everything was normal. And in the blink of an eye, a matter of seconds, all hell breaks loose. That's why I tell you, you always take care and live for the day, you know what I'm saying? And live positively, because you never know when you will be taken out of here. Somebody died in a vehicle when the plane crashed. You think they seen that coming? You never know when it's your time, man. That's why you focus on being a good person. At least doing good things out here. Because this just is a tragedy all the way around. I'm going to just end it at that. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are less than 3,000 subscribers away from 100K. And it's a hell of a blessing and a hell of a feeling. You know, thank everybody for supporting me. And I appreciate you guys so much. See you in the next video. Take care.